Hello artists. Today we are going to be learning about the warm colors, which are orange, red, and yellow. And we're going to create a painting of a fall tree. You're going to need several things today. You have a painting paper, a blue sheet of paper, half a bowl of water, a brush, 5 napkins, and then of course your paint set. You also have a black Sharpie. The first thing you're going to need to do today is turn your paper vertically, and at the bottom left-hand corner, please write your name. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you need to write your class. Snap that cap, give it a nap, and I will come collect them. You have 5 napkins today, but only one of them you're going to use with your water and your brush. So the other 4 I would like you to set to the side for now. I have my 1 napkin, my brush, my water, and my paint. The first thing we're going to do is paint the tree, and we're going to use black to do that. When you use the acrylic paint, you want to use a dry brush. So I did not dip it in the water first because the paint is already wet. I'm going to dip straight into the paint and I'm going to wipe on the edge. Starting close to your name right above it, you're going to take a swoop. It kind of looks like a parenthesis or almost a backward C. You're going to come over on this side of your paper and do the same thing. Now when I paint, I like to guide my pinky along the paper, and it will help you have a little bit more control over your brush. Now because trees are made of bark, it's okay for it to look a little textured when you're painting today. You want to take those top branches and go almost to the corners of your paper. Something I want to teach you today is that trees are V's. So if you just put a V shape down the middle of your paper, you've already started to form some branches. You're going to dip up here, make a V. And when you're painting, again, keep your fingers steady while you work. From there, I would like you to just start to touch the black lines that you've already made and do some branches that flow off of your tree. You're going to keep adding until you run towards the edge and top of your paper. And all trees are different, so there's really no wrong way to do this. If yours looks different than mine, that's perfectly fine, because it would be boring if all of the trees in the world were exactly the same. At the bottom, I want you to swish out those lines just a little bit more, and then give yourself kind of a rough bottom, because normally trees have grass underneath them, and so it would look a little rough under there. At this point, what I want you to do now that you're done painting the tree is fill in that main trunk. And remember, we have a good hair day with our brush, so we brush, 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 nice and smooth. If you feel like you're starting to run out of paint, just dip. Again, we want to have a good hair day brush. You don't need to worry about painting the top perfectly because we're going to be using our orange, red, and yellow to do our leaves. Now that you're finished with your black, I want you to really rinse out your brush, swirl it around quite a few times, wipe it, do it one more time to make sure it's clean. And then you can go ahead and dry off your brush and you are finished with it. So just lay your brush on your napkin and push it to the side. You are also done with your water. Just leave it on your table, but to the side. Now we're going to be using our 3 napkins. You're going to crumple it up, not real tight in a fist, but a little bit looser than that, kind of in a little wad, almost like a ball, just like so. You're going to start with yellow today. You're going to simply dip that into your yellow paint, and I want you to gently dab and pull away from your paper. Now, because the black paint is still a little wet, it's going to mix together. That's okay. The napkin that you were working with your brush, you can dab that a couple of times to get some of the black off of your paper towel, and then simply dip in the yellow paint. Again, you can get probably 3 or 4 little prints. This is called printing. You can get 3 or 4 little prints before you have to get more paint, but we don't want to get the black in there. So take the napkin that you were using with your brush, just tap it a few times on there. It'll clean most of the black off before you dip again. We're working towards the end of the branches because that's where leaves grow. Might have to hold your paper down a little. Okay. All right. I would say that that's enough yellow. I've left a little bit of my blue sky showing through. I've left my black branches showing through. And now I'm done with this one, so I can rest it on that same napkin that I was starting with at the beginning of class. I'm going to take another clean napkin and crumple it up. Again, not too tight. You're going to dip that in your orange, and now we're going to try to get those blue spaces where the sky was. Be a little bit more precise with your orange than you were with your yellow. Try to get where those blue spots are and really start to show some fall colors showing through on your tree. Again, if you get black, just dab it on that paper towel and it will clean it off. And I don't want to cover up all of my yellow because I want the yellow to show through. I think that's enough orange. So again, that napkin can just rest on your dirty one just like that. You're going to take your next napkin, crumple it up, dip. If it's drippy like that, make sure you wipe so you're not making a mess everywhere. And this time, be really specific. Try to get where the blue sky is. Try to blend a little bit where maybe you haven't with the yellow. If you get black, clean it. It's pretty cool. And just like on a regular tree, you would see some of the branches showing through there. So I'm not trying to cover up all of the black, and I'm also not trying to cover up every single speck of blue, because in between the leaves you would see the sky. The very last thing I would like you to do today is take your very last napkin, crumple it up, but this time almost try to get it really small at the top. You're going to go in the same order that you started with. Yellow first. We want it to look like some of the trees have fallen down onto the ground, but they're much smaller since they're just little leaves down here. You can take that same exact napkin, clean it off on your paper towel, and then you're going to dip it into the orange, repeating the same process. And you don't want to fill your whole ground. We want it to look like only a few of them have fallen. Clean your napkin again, and now it's time to finish off with red. Make sure you don't cover up your name and your class. For cleanup today, you're going to take all of those napkins that you have together, make them go into one wad like that, and throw them in the trash can. You're going to put your dirty brush in the bowl of water at the sink upside down so that it can take a bath. You're going to empty out your dirty water into the sink, give the bowl a quick rinse, and then turn it upside down to dry in the dish drainer. You're going to leave your paints right on your table because I will collect them. I will also collect your Sharpies. And then your fall tree is going to go with your painting paper and all to the drying rack. Now that your whole table is cleaned off, you may use 1 pump of soap to wash your hands and 2 napkins to dry them. If we run out of time in the art room though, that's something you can do after class is over. That is a finished fall tree print using the warm colors red, orange, and yellow. Good job today, artists.